Okay, here we go with the second video for homework assignment 4, and we're going to go over part 4, 5, 6, and 7. So here we go, part 4, critical path. Identify the critical path, list the tasks which are on the critical path, and also the tasks which are not on the critical path. Okay, fair enough. Discuss how you can use the critical path to help manage projects. Okay. First thing I want to do is just remind everybody that you have to go, you're in the, so that's the assignment directions. Then you go to assignment 4, Word template. That's where you put your answers. So again, critical path, use Microsoft Project to analyze critical path, include results here, tasks on the critical path, so just list them. Tasks not on the critical path, list them. And then I will use the critical path to help manage this project by, and then just tell me how you going to use the critical path. So now I'm back into Microsoft Project for this residential construction project, and a couple things here. What you want to do when you start out is just get into your project, and you want to make sure this is viewing, because this is really helpful. I feel this bar here, this timeline here. So to see that, make sure that you go to view, you go to timeline, and you click it so you can see it. And again, these things right here are the summary tasks. And intuitively, if we look at this, we can already kind of see what the critical path is. So let's just kind of think through this. The idea of a critical path is that all the tasks on it must be completed without delay. Or if you delay any of the tasks on the critical path, the project's going to take longer. That's the essence of it. It's not any more than that. So it's just say it's critical because if this gets delayed, messed up, whatever, the project's going to suffer. But some tasks, they're important, but they're not critical from a time sensitivity. There's what the text says, slack. You don't have to do them exactly in that time, and that you got a little bit of slack. You can do it either before or after a little bit. Sure, it has to get done, but it doesn't have to get done. It's not, the timing of it is not as critical. And so oftentimes, typically the critical path in the text mentions this is the longest path. That's the longest path, and so most things are critical, but some aren't. And so so if we just look at this, we can just say, okay, what's the critical path? Well, this, looks like that, and then that. And these things in here, well, there's some slack. I mean, we could move this over here, move that over there. I mean, we could move this up, or we could move these things around. These are not as critical. Intuitively, it's just there. It's just straightforward. So let's see how we can kind of show that though in Microsoft Project. So how we see that is right here. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go these critical tasks, and I'm gonna go bam. I'm gonna hit that, and everything in red over here. And let me show you a little trick. So this is over here. We can move this over. We don't need this information right now. Right now we're just trying to find the critical task. So I'm just going to move this over and kind of cover that, move it over a little bit. And so this now, I'm in format. I went format. I'm going to do that again. Format, and I click critical task. Everything in red is critical. So general contractor, look at that up there. And I go down, and lo and behold, it's all, I can even do kind of, I can go here, I can go here. I mean, I know I'm not going to get to critical, something that's not on the critical path until I get to dry-in. Is that what happens? Yeah, that is what happens. Dry-in, right there. Notice that? It says dry-in. That, again, that is the summary of it. Summary. And then all of a sudden, these tasks, which are blue, are not on the critical path. I'm not saying they're not important. I'm just saying they're not on the critical path. So that's it. I mean, that's the same thing here. We could go down. It would be, they're going to be blue. In fact, they are. So it gets a little dicey here, right? That's because this is so extensive, so many tasks. It's not going to be a big deal for you, and there's other ways to get around that and print it off, but I'm not going to get into it. You can research the web, but because I want you to see and focus on the big picture. Obviously, these are not on the critical path. These are. And so just go up and find out, do it that way. Find out, just work through it and view it so you can figure out what's blue is not on the critical path and what is red is on the critical path. I should also mention this, if you do this and you kind of mess around here and all of a sudden you see this thing format, it looks weird, right? Overlapping, pan, zoom. Just to get that off, just click down here and you'll get format and it says critical task. You can do this and all of a sudden you're going, wait a second, what's going on? It's a simple thing, just click it and then you get the critical task. And again, you take it off, everything's blue. You click it, things are red. Everything on red is on the critical path. Things that are in blue are not. And you just list what those are, and away you go. Then you got to answer that question. Let me go back to it. Then you got to answer that question. I guess I can even go to this one. Tasks on the critical path are, again, all those are red. Tasks not on the critical path, those are the blue ones. I will use the critical path to help manage my project by, you tell me. This is important information. You tell me how you're going to use the critical path. You know, look at the text again for critical path if you're not quite sure how, but it's an important thing that helps project managers just manage the project. Okay, here we go on to part 5, cost, budget, and earned value. This is core. This is in chapter 7, and develop a budget to complete the tasks. Chapter 7, figure 7.3 as an example, 7.13 as an example. At a minimum, we're really looking here for labor and material costs, and then other costs as appropriate. Perhaps there's travel and entertainment, might be though. So as appropriate. So really at a minimum, looking for labor and material costs. Then second part of this is discuss the concept of earned value and how you would apply it to the project. So let's jump into the template that I provided and see what we got there. Okay, so what I did here is I just inserted an Excel spreadsheet into this Word document. And if you don't know how to do that, it's pretty straightforward. If you want to do that in the future, you don't have to, because for this assignment, because I've already done it, put it in there, but maybe you want to impress someone later on. So I'm just going to insert a table and insert an Excel spreadsheet, and then that gets it in there. And then you add formulas and away you go. But here we go: cost, budgets, and earned value, labor, material, other costs, total costs. So you need to, you need to get this thing active. It's just sitting there right now, but you need to get into an active spreadsheet. And to do that, first thing I just kind of clicked it and got some corners around it, if you will. I'm just going to double click it now, and now I got it. Now I got an active Excel spreadsheet right into Word. And so what I've done is I created formulas here. I don't know if you see this right there. That's summing everything in here to there. Same thing over here. From here to here, that sums it. And again, from here to here, that sums it. And total costs, that's summing. That's actually summing this way to get total costs. So that's the spreadsheet that I've created. All you have to do is put in labor, material, and other costs as appropriate, and just change these. So it'll calculate it for you. And so if you need 15 to 20, so you need to do at least 15 of these. So the task, and some of these won't have material or labor or whatever, but let's just kind of go here and say, okay, so if I'm doing a basement project, I'm going to need to get it framed out. So I'm going to call this framing basement. That's the task. Labor to do that, just going to take a rough guess here. So I need I need a rough carpenter or a carpenter, and take them, you know, 3 days, whatever. I'm just going to say that this is $1,500. And he's an independent contractor. He says, you know what? You need to buy the wood too. That's just my labor. In order the wood for this framing project, that's $1,200. And all of a sudden, I got $2,700 into this basement project just on framing, just on framing it, and that's labor, that's material, and so away you go for your 15 to 20 tasks. Just go through here, and again, for anything, just blanks, and nothing past 15. You need at least 15, but nothing past there. Just leave it blank, and it'll add it up for you. So I'm just going to put some numbers in here, and whatever, or something here. And notice that these things all add up, and it'll be in red. The final will be in red. This will be your total project costs, estimated costs right here. This total right there. So there you go. So you have to do a little bit of research and think through it from the labor, material, and other cost perspective. So fill this out, and then let me show you a couple things here so it doesn't kind of totally throw you. Then when you're done, just click it, and notice how it just puts it in there. So that's kind of neat. And then just tell me what the total cost for the project is estimated at, and just put that figure here, whatever it is. Just put it in there. And then, wait, I also wanted to show you this. If for some reason this gets messed up, maybe it gets moved up somewhere, you can't see part of it, just double click it and move it down in here. So maybe something gets messed up, I don't know. It could happen. If it does, just grab it, double click it, grab it, and move it around so you can actually, so it actually goes back into place. Okay, probably won't happen to you, but if it does, just double click it and get it. And again, to get at it, double click it. It's a little bit tricky, but you'll get it. Okay, all right, that's that. So then discuss this concept of earned value. What is it? I'm not going to tell you. Read the text. Apply the concepts of earned value to the project. As with the critical path, this is a core concept of managing projects. Where are you on the earned value? What's the progress? So discuss that. How are you going to apply that concept of earned value to this project? Okay, that's part 5. Let's go to part 6. Okay, part 6, create a risk assessment right here. Chapter 8, review chapter 8. Create a risk assessment matrix as depicted in figure 8.1. I've actually already done that for you. At least 3 risks should be identified and analyzed utilizing the risk assessment matrix. So let's go to it. So this template's designed to make your life easier. So just do it. So here it is. It's straightforward. Risk, impact, likelihood of occurrence, degree of impact, action on trigger, responsibility and response plan. So just take a look in chapter 8 at the example there and fill it in. And so it's straightforward. I wanted to kind of show you this. So you see how it does that? Just when you get here, in order to get away from that, so you want these things not, when you go like this, then just hit return. And what I like to do, it's easier, is you can't see this right now, but I'm hitting shift enter, and then either way. And also, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but let me go here. Home and this mark here, that lets you see what's going on, kind of the edge of it, and it also lets you see paragraph marks and all that kind of fun stuff, kind of the back end of Word. So many of you know this, but if you don't, I just went home and then I click this thing here, and that just lets me see kind of the back end of things. And so and if I just want to hit enter, now I got a paragraph mark there, and that kind of thing. I can also do shift enter, and that looks a little bit different. So whatever. just hit enter so this thing doesn't get you can keep on going down this way, right? We can keep on doing this and it expands. And so when you get so far over, you don't want this thing all the way over here and it looks weird. So just put it in there. When you get the edge of where you want it to be, hit enter, whatever. You can take this thing off if it bugs you. So just kind of FYI formatting little trick there. So I'm going to take this off. So that's straightforward. Read chapter 8 and look at that, and that should be pretty straightforward. Okay, last thing, part 7, managing and closing the project. 5 points, review chapters 9 and 10. So discuss your leadership style for managing this project. That's 3, and discuss how you would document the closing of this project. That's 2. Humor me, don't make this one sentence. I didn't put a minimum in here, and I oftentimes do this, but it's like, spend some time with this. It's like, every project, it has a different challenge, and oftentimes different projects require different leadership approach. So think about the specifics of this project, and discuss how you're going to lead it, and how you're going to close it. What are the things that, and Tex does a good job of doing this, what are the things that you need to do to formally end this project? Or it's like, what's the formal way of doing this, if you will. Even if it's something as simple as a home project, but wrap something around this so you can document it, and lessons learned and all that kind of stuff. So that's here, managing and closing the project. So that's it. Again, or hopefully this template here, I think it will help you kind of keep it on task. And when you submit your assignment, submit the Microsoft project file, and also use this template, give it a name, and submit this as well for homework assignment 4. That's it.